Hey everybody, my name is Bill Welker, host of the MMA on the Rocks podcast. Today I'm going to show you how to make my new favorite summertime cocktail. And it's a bourbon whiskey cocktail. It's light and refreshing. And it's for people who may be whiskey drinkers and struggle with finding something that's lighter to drink when it's really hot outside in the summer. And it's also for people who think that whiskey is just for grizzled cowboys and they cringe at the thought of drinking it. That shouldn't be the case. This is for both whiskey lovers and non-whiskey lovers. And it only has 3 ingredients. It's got whiskey, it's got honey, and it's got lemon juice. You can use fresh squeezed lemon juice, or you can use bottled lemon juice if you want to take some of the work out of it. So today I'm using Buffalo Trace Kentucky whiskey. You can use the bourbon of your choice or any other kind of whiskey. I'm using Cloister honey, which is bourbon infused. Just happens to be a coincidence that I happen to have this lying around. You don't have to use bourbon infused honey because it's going to be infused with bourbon regardless. I'm using lemons. Now, I'm going to give you the most important tip for making the perfect cocktail. A lot of people will say you have to use expensive spirits or you have to use organic ingredients. All of that's nonsense. The most important part of making a perfect cocktail, especially when you're making them for other people at a party, is to make sure you have a beer close by, because you want to have a drink while you're waiting for your drink. Alright, let's get started. This is super simple. You're going to take a shaker with ice. You're going to take some of your Kentucky bourbon here, or whatever you happen to be using. Now, if you've seen me or heard me talk about drinks before, I'm not too big on measuring. If you want, you can look up the proper proportions, but let's just say a lot of bourbon to a little of everything else. So we got our bourbon, a little bit of our honey here. I don't have a huge sweet tooth, so I only use a little bit of honey. Now let's cut up our lemon. You want to roll the lemons before you cut into them, because it's a little easier to get the juice out of them. Now we're just going to put a little strainer over the top of our shaker here to make sure we don't get any of the seeds in our drink. There are more sophisticated ways to do this, but I prefer to just squeeze the lemon right into the shaker. About 1.5 lemons ought to do the trick if you're using freshly squeezed lemons. And then you're just going to have to shake it up. You want to make sure to shake it for about 20 seconds because the honey is going to be real sticky and it'll take a long time for it to dissolve. You can also make a honey syrup if you want to put an extra step into this. So just boil the honey with about a 1/3 cup of water and then let it cool down before you do this. But I prefer to just throw the honey right in the shaker and mix it up a little longer, get a little workout out of it too. So after you shake it up for about 20 seconds, the only thing left to do is to pour it into a highball glass. I like to use these big brick whiskey ice cubes. You can definitely use regular ice cubes if you want to, but I find these keep it chilled and it doesn't water down your drink as much. And that's it. That's our Gold Rush cocktail, everybody. So reach out to me on social media if you have any new and interesting drinks that you think I should be trying. As you all know, I'm a big whiskey drinker, but I'm very open-minded. I like to try everything else as well. So it's at MMA on the Rocks, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, probably anywhere else on social media. Also check out the podcast, MMA on the Rocks, on iTunes, Google Play, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. And remember that even if you fight recklessly, please remember to drink responsibly. That's all I got. Cheers, everybody. Goodbye.